Can you believe one meal can save a soul? Clara Thompson quietly left a scone and coffee on a bench every morning for a silver-haired homeless man, despite the mockery. 5 years later, at her wedding, that familiar figure appeared with 6 Marines, revealing a truth that left the room in tears. Welcome to OpenMinded Stories. Open your mind. Feel the happy life and hit subscribe. The sun's fading, painting Ogden, Utah, in a deep crimson glow. It's October 2024, and Harold Jensen, 89 years old, grips the wheel of his old pickup truck, rattling through the quiet streets of this small town. The engine grumbles, rough and worn, mixing with the cold wind slipping through a cracked window. The scent of fresh pizza drifts from the back seat, his steady companion for 3 years, delivering for Mario's Pizza. Harold's hands tremble with age, bony fingers clutching tight, his knees aching from hours on his feet in the kitchen. Yet his smile, it's warm, like a fire crackling on a winter night. It never fades. Every delivery's a small battle, a quiet struggle he faces with unspoken grit. Harold lives alone in a weathered mobile home on the edge of town. Thin walls shake when the wind howls. His world is simple: a frayed armchair, an old radio, a faded photo of his family from days long gone. That's home, after 30 hours a week at work. His meager paycheck covers the electric bill, heart meds, but not much else. No room for rest. Once a mechanic, strong and steady. He raised 3 kids who've since built lives in far-off cities. He won't burden them. Harold endures, as he has for 89 years, with a silent courage that asks for no pity, no complaints. This evening, he pulls up to a 2-story house on Maple Street, where red maples blaze under the dying light. The Carters, regular customers, always greet him with kind words. Harold rings the bell, clutching a warm pizza box, its heat seeping into his cold fingers. Emily Carter, young and bright, swings the door open. "Thanks. Harold, stay warm out there," she says, pressing a few crumpled bills into his hand. He nods, his weathered smile glowing under the porch light, eyes shining with quiet sincerity. He doesn't know a hidden phone captures the moment, a moment that'll turn his life upside down. The Carters aren't just pizza lovers. They're YouTube Shorts creators, with thousands of followers hooked on their slice-of-life stories. That night, they post a video of Harold, the old delivery man with gentle eyes and a soft voice. Within hours, it spreads like wildfire across social media. Comments flood in. "He's so precious. Why's someone that old still working? We've got to do something." Viewers are drawn to Harold's authenticity, his quiet strength in the face of hardship, never whining, never breaking. Emily reads the comments, her heart heavy. She turns to her husband, Michael, eyes fierce with purpose. "We have to help him," she says, voice trembling. Harold's story isn't just about delivering pizza. It's about sacrifice, resilience, and the hidden corners of a world that forgets people like him. As night falls over Ogden, a spark of hope flickers. Though Harold doesn't know it yet, strangers, thousands of miles away, are ready to change his fate. And a secret from his past, a shadow tucked behind his simple life, is about to come to light. The video of Harold Jensen spreads like wildfire, racing from Utah's small towns to big cities like Chicago and Boston. Each share on YouTube Shorts fans the flames, stirring the hearts of thousands. Comments pour in. "He's a true warrior. We've got to do something for him." But in Harold's rickety mobile home, life's a quiet loop. He wakes at dawn, faint light slipping through tattered curtains, tracing the wrinkles on his face. His joints creak as he laces his shoes. The smell of cheap coffee fills the cold air, the only thing keeping him sharp for a long shift. No smartphone, no clue he's the talk of the nation. At the Carter house, Emily and Michael work non-stop. They launch a modest crowdfunding page, aiming for $2,000 to cover Harold's bills and give him a break. But the community's kindness blows them away. In 48 hours, the fund hits $5,000 with donations from kids saving pocket money to veterans sending notes. "Thank you for your hard work. You deserve rest." A week later. It's $12,000. Emily reads each message, tears streaming down her face. She feels the weight of this story, not just Harold's, but the countless silent workers society overlooks, fighting daily battles no one sees. Not everyone's swept up in the warmth. Some YouTube comments cut like knives if he's so broke. Why not retire? Probably just a stunt for views. The words sting Emily. But she won't waver. She reaches out to local shops, rallying free groceries and repairs for Harold's crumbling home. Yet a worry gnaws at her Harold. So private and humble. How will he react when he learns the world's watching? Will he feel exposed, or embrace the kindness Harold's health is slipping? Back pain now stabs like a blade, forcing him to pop extra pills to keep cooking and driving. One rainy evening, he slips on a slick path, pizza box hitting the ground. He's lucky just a bruised knee. Clara, the manager at Mario's, a middle-aged woman with worried eyes, sees him fading. "You need rest." "Harold," she says, gentle but firm. He shakes his head, a faint smile hiding the pain. "I'm fine." Clara, gotta keep going. His stubborn strength silences her, but she fears he'll break. Tension spikes as Emily hears of skeptics online questioning the fundraiser's legitimacy. They demand proof the money will reach Harold. Some accusing the Carters of exploiting his story. Exhausted, but determined. Emily plans a public event on Veterans Day to hand over the funds, letting the community witness its own goodness. What she doesn't see coming is a quiet storm brewing a group from Harold's past. Men who know he's more than a pizza delivery guy have seen the video. They're heading to Ogden, carrying a secret that'll shake everything. Veterans Day in Ogden, Utah, hums with life. Flags snap in the breeze, and trumpets echo through the crisp November air of 2024. The town square glows with red, white, and blue ribbons. The smell of fresh bread and hot coffee drifting from vendor stalls. Emily and Michael Carter stand by a small stage, hearts pounding. They've got a symbolic check for $15,000, the final sum from the fundraiser, but they're nervous. Harold Jensen, who shies from attention, only agreed to come thinking it's a simple community gathering. When Harold steps onto the stage, over 200 people erupt in applause. He's in his worn wool jacket, silver hair peeking from a faded cap, thin hands clasped to hide their tremble. Emily, voice shaky, shares his story, not just a pizza delivery man, but a father, a worker, a man who touched thousands through a YouTube Shorts video. She tells of nights he drove through rain, the warm smile he gave every customer, his quiet grit. As she hands him the check, Harold freezes, eyes misty with emotion. The crowd falls silent, only the wind rustling through red maples. He touches the check, fingers trembling. "I don't know what to say," he whispers, voice breaking. "I just did my job." Tears roll down his weathered cheeks, catching the sunlight. The crowd roars, applause crashing like waves. A little boy darts up, hugging Harold's leg, sparking laughter through tears. Then, everything shifts. 6 middle-aged men in faded military jackets step forward from the back. Robert Hayes, their leader. Face tough, but eyes kind. Approaches the stage. The crowd buzzes with curiosity. Robert takes the mic, his deep voice cutting through the air. "We're D-17 served in Vietnam. 1970, Harold's not just a delivery guy, he saved our lives." The crowd gasps, stunned, pulled into a secret unveiled. Robert shares how Harold, an army mechanic, risked his life fixing a truck under enemy fire, saving their squad from a deadly trap. "He never told anyone," Robert says, eyes red, voice catching. "But we never forgot." The squad kneels on one knee before Harold, heads bowed in respect. Harold, shocked, covers his face, tears falling like rain. The crowd sobs, applause thundering. Emily and Michael cling to each other, tears streaming, barely believing the moment. Clara, Harold's manager, stands at the stage's edge, wiping her eyes with her sleeve, whispering, "I knew he was special, but not like this." The moment, a testament to quiet courage, lights up the square, This isn't just about the money, it's about Harold. Always in the shadows, finally seen, honored as a true hero. His story. Now, isn't just Ogden's, it belongs to everyone who believes kindness and courage can change the world. The weeks after Veterans Day bring a quiet shift to Harold Jensen's life in Ogden, Utah. The $15,000 from the fundraiser changes things, but not with fanfare. He fixes his mobile home, patching thin walls and replacing cracked windows so December's chill can't sneak in. He pays medical bills, buys heart meds, and, for the first time in decades, treats himself to a new armchair, soft leather, cozy, where he sits for hours gazing at the yard. Harold cuts back at Mario's Pizza, taking just a few shifts a week, joking with Clara, his manager. Gotta keep the soul young. Customers greet him like a local hero, slipping extra tips. But he just smiles, shaking his head humbly. Emily and Michael Carter keep sharing Harold's story on YouTube Shorts. Pushing a bigger message, notice the silent workers, the ones who fight daily battles no one sees. Their fund sparks initiatives in Ogden food aid for seniors, home repairs for veterans. Harold, despite himself, becomes a symbol of grit and kindness. The D-17 squad, the men he saved in Vietnam, become regulars at his place. They bring beer, swap old stories, their laughter filling the tiny home with warmth it hasn't known in years. One winter afternoon, Harold sits in his armchair, pale sunlight streaming through the window, making dried daisies in the yard sparkle. He holds a letter from Robert Hayes, the squad's leader, our hero. Thank you for everything. Harold thinks back to hungry nights, moments he felt invisible, like the world had forgotten him. Now, he knows he's seen. Tears fall gently, not from sadness, but gratitude for the community, the squad, strangers who pause to care. His smile, wrinkled but bright, glows like the sunsets that once guided him through Ogden's streets. Harold never chased the spotlight, but it found him. His story, a thread of quiet courage, proves kindness and bravery can shift the world. One small moment at a time. Just a pizza delivery man, Harold leaves a legacy not through grand deeds, but simple sincerity. The way he always greeted customers with a smile. As winter blankets Ogden, Harold still drives his old pickup through familiar streets. But his heart's lighter. He's not alone anymore. The community and D-17 have become family, reminding him that, despite life's hardships, there are always hands ready to lift you up. Harold's story, like a small flame, keeps warming distant hearts. Harold shows kindness can change lives. Share your inspiring moment. Follow to spread care for unsung heroes. Subscribe. Like. Share to honor courage like Harold's.